Unsolved Mysteries of World War II. World War II was a conflict like no other. Allies and Axis powers clashed for 6 years, millions of people lost their lives, and the world was never the same afterwards. To this day, there are still many unanswered questions, including unsolved mysteries that took place during and after the war. From people vanishing, to treasures yet to be found, in this video, we look at the greatest unsolved mysteries of World War II. Battle of Los Angeles. The Battle of Los Angeles, also known as the Great Los Angeles Air Raid, took place on the night of February 24 to 25, 1942. It was a supposed attack by the Japanese on the US. Except it wasn't. Alarms went off, searchlights were pointed towards the sky, and anti-aircraft artillery was used. But it turns out that there was nothing to be seen the next day, that is except for a few damaged buildings and cars, hit by artillery shells. But it was deemed a false alarm, possibly caused by a lost weather balloon. Still, many theories have arisen from the event, including UFO conspiracy theories. The Nazi gold train or Volbjik gold train is an urban legend about a train laden with gold and treasure that was hidden by the Nazis in southwest Poland during the last days of World War II. Despite numerous efforts to locate the train, no one has been able to find it to this day. Indeed, some historians claim that it never existed. But no one has been able to prove it either way. Lady Be Good disappearance. On April 5, 1943, the American B-24D Liberator aircraft, known as the Lady Be Good, disappeared somewhere on its way to a Libyan airfield. In May 1948, the wreckage was found in the desert located south of the airfield, but there was no sign of the crew. It was not until 1960 that remains were found. There was evidence that the crew had parachuted out of the plane about 16 miles, 25 kilometers, before the aircraft crashed. What exactly happened remains a mystery to this day. The disappearance of Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 bombers known as Flight 19 vanished. And then the search and rescue aircraft sent to look for them also vanished. No wreckage or bodies were ever found. Flight 19 is one of the many mysterious disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. Ratlins. Operation Paperclip saw many German scientists relocating to the US. But, in fact, many others fled Europe. These escape networks became known as Ratlins. For instance, Adolf Eichmann, one of the major players in the Holocaust, was eventually captured by the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, in Argentina and later sentenced to death. It is not exactly known how Ratlins worked and who was involved. However, Pope Pius XII is said to have played a part, but unfortunately there are no known documents in the Vatican to prove it one way or the other. What happened to the Amber Room? The Amber Room was an actual room inside the Catherine House, a royal palace in Pushkin, Russia. This photo from 1917 is the only color record of the Amber Room before World War II. Then the Nazis entered the room in 1941 and stole the elaborate amber and gold panels. They were supposedly shipped to Königsberg, Germany, now Kaliningrad, Russia, never to be seen again. The room has since been recreated. Why did a Nazi party leader fly to Scotland? In 1941, a Scottish farmer found a plane crashed on his land, but a man was standing next to it. The man was Nazi party leader Rudolf Hess. The high-ranking Nazi official flew from Germany to Scotland, and managed to escape all radars and, consequently, anti-aircraft artillery. This was, of course, until he crashed in Scotland. Hess' supposed reason to fly to Scotland was that he wanted to negotiate peace with the UK, but no one bought his excuse. Rudolf Hess was captured and eventually spent his last days in the Allied-controlled Spandau prison in Berlin, where he remained until in death in 1987. Yamashita's treasure. Japanese General Tomoyuki Yamashita reportedly buried a looted treasure somewhere in the Philippines. Yamashita was eventually executed by American forces in 1946, so the secret might have died with him. It goes without saying that a treasure hunt begun. A man named Rogelio Roxas reportedly found part of the treasure in 1971. He then sued former Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos for confiscating it. Roxas won, but the court ruling came after he had died. As for the rest of the treasure, well, no one knows. The disappearance of a World War II hero. Swedish diplomat Raoul Wallenberg is considered a World War II hero for saving thousands of Jews in Nazi-occupied Hungary. Wallenberg was eventually captured by Soviet officers in early 1945, and no one knows exactly what happened next. The Soviets claimed that he died in 1947, but sightings were reported as late as the 1980s. Pearl Harbor ghost plane. The Pearl Harbor attack took place on December 7, 1941. Then, on December 8, 1942, an aircraft coming from Japan was detected by a Navy radar. Navy pilots went to intercept the invader, but they reportedly saw an American P-40 fighter instead of an enemy plane. The P-40 fighter, however, had bullet holes, ruined landing gear, and the pilot, who was covered in blood, waved at them. The plane then crashed, but there was no sign of the pilot. The story is disputed to this day, and many claimed it to be an urban myth.
So that was all for today's video. Let us know what you think about it in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our latest uploads. With that said, we will see you next time. Until then, take care.